Today is the 24th. Minutes from the 10th. Need a motion to approve. I was not here. I'll read them. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, tonight. National Grid, yeah, good. National Grid
We
Tree
have-
Room, Shamrock Street.
We have Luke Fisk on.
Luke, can you hear us?
Yes, loud and clear.
Ooh, Shamrock Street tree removal. Tell us about it.
Tree removals that were being performed by Nelson Tree Service in town are on behalf of National Grid in accordance with our hazard tree mitigation program. The goal of the program is to identify and remove hazardous trees that are likely to cause an interruption in electrical service. It is a maintenance activity out there along the 1102 W1 circuit we have that feeds most of Stockbridge. The majority of the work that we're doing is the removal of dead or dying ash trees. They're the main species that are on our list.
Do you have numbers or is this just everything that's in danger of falling?
So certified arborists went out and inspected every tree within striking distance of the main three-phase line. They sought permission from the tree owner, whether that was public, private, or state, whoever it may be. I thought we had all I's dotted and T's crossed on this project. If we have not and we are in the wrong, I'm happy to hear where we went wrong and correct anything we need to do, but certainly open to whatever you guys have for questions or comments.
I was the person that asked about it because I was walking by while it was in process. And Laurel Hill explained to me that they were hazard trees. I had a question though. Are you, how are you removing them? Are you just taking the tops off? Are you bringing equipment into the wetland? Do you know how they're coming down?
The overwhelming majority of these trees will be removed from the pavement edge through the use of a bucket truck. We
Okay.
will not be putting any equipment into wetlands.
Great.
There are some off-road trees behind the substation on Cherry Street heading back towards Castle Hill. I believe that's mostly an upland area. I don't see any wetlands there. That is all on foot with the exception of a few trees right behind the substation. We will have a bucket truck right there at an off-road location.
Okay, great. And they're all marked with big red X's, right? Everything that's coming down?
That's correct.
Will everything be removed or just laid in the woods?
At the request of the tree owner, the wood is either going to be left behind at their request, or we do a full removal of everything, tree trunk and brush and all.
So if it's town or state land, you remove it. If it's homeowner's land, if they want it, they keep it. Otherwise, everything's gone, right?
That's correct. There is a lot of work on mass wildlife property. They do have some special requests for leaving the wood behind, a few high stumps, just for wildlife factors. So there will be a significant amount of wood left behind that property at their request.
Any other questions?
That's on South Street, off of South Street.
No, I appreciate you letting us know though. Thank you.
No problem.
I don't think we have any more problems with it or any questions. So you should be good to go. We'll make a motion to allow this, I guess.
It's informal. There's no.
It's informal
Yes,
anyway.
yeah, they're just letting us
Yeah.
know.
We just have an unofficial okay.
You got an official okay.
All right. Well, thanks for having us tonight, and I'm sorry we had to, join on such short notice. Thanks for having us, and take care.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you.
Good night. Notice of interest. We didn't get a DEP file for this yet.
Not yet, nope.
Continued. Marion Fathers, in red.
We did get the estimate from David. You got that, right, Steve?
We did not.
You want the easel?
I don't think I have anything anything new.
Okay.
Do you want me to make a copy?
Or you can email it to me, it's fine.
Okay, I'll just forward it to you.
Okay.
So David said, sent us, calculated the cost to do a formal peer review for Eden Hill ANRAD, which includes the following. Task 1, desktop review of ANRAD. Task 2, field review of delineated resource area boundaries. The initial inspection I did last week, plus a subsequent more focused review of the northern BVW boundary. Task 3, preparation of report document findings. Task 4, attendance at public meeting to discuss Fleetwood's finding. Task 5, coordination with the commission and applicants consultants plus travel time and mileage. Fleetwood can conduct the scope of work for $2,800.
Okay. Can I verbally authorize that here to move ahead, or how do we want to do that?
I guess.
Okay,
We probably need something formal from the Marians, but
yeah,
yeah.
David's right there.
Oh, David's there. Hi, David. So, yeah, we probably need something in writing from the Marians saying that they accept it, but
Okay.
other than that, yeah, I think.
if you email it to me, I'll get that. And then I don't know if there's anything more on the ANRAD to set up a site visit, would that be possible?
We'd like to do a site visit.
And then can we also we're gonna be submitting the stormwater permit this week for the project they're proposing. Can we look at that area during the site visit, just so we don't have to go out there twice?
Works for me.
Perfect. And then can we also, if you're gonna have David review that, could we have him put together another proposal for us to authorize for the stormwater permit?
Okay? David?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want, I have one.
I'm sorry, I would just offer up to Steve and the commission that I did go by the site early last week briefly because I was out in Stockbridge looking at some other sites for the commission. And I'm not sure if I got my bearings correct. I referred to that as the northern BVW. There's two sheets. It's the BVW that's on sheet A2 in the package that I had some questions on and I needed to spend a little bit more time on. But the stream or ditch or whatever you want to call it that's on sheet A1, I looked at those flags and they were all fine. So it's mostly focusing on that other area.
Okay. Okay, so should we set up a site visit? I want Brian to be there, did the delineation, but
Tuesday's not good for me. But just about any other day.
Monday afternoon,
I can't do Friday.
Monday afternoon,
I'm okay with it. Yeah,
Monday's the 30th.
I could do that.
I could do
30th?
Is that Monday? Is that what
Yeah.
you're talking about?
Yes. Afternoon or,
Before 4.
Yeah, I mean, I might get there earlier just so I have more time.
that's
So-
fine.
Yeah, what time were you folks planning on being there?
2:30?
I could be there 2:30.
2:30?
Yeah, I'd probably get there by noon at the latest then.
Okay.
All right.
And where will we meet?
do we want to meet, so,
North Gate.
yeah, like the entrance off Prospect Hill.
Yeah.
So do you know where that is?
Yeah, where the gate is?
Yeah.
Yep.
So the contractor and the Marians have asked, in preparation for this, are you guys okay if they start just mobilizing some stuff, realizing they can't disturb more than 10,000 square feet before they have a stormwater permit?
What do you mean mobilizing?
Well, they want to get the fencing in, they want to rough in the access drive for construction, that kind of thing, but it'd be less than the threshold. I just don't want to have them do it and then have you go out there and do a site visit and say, what the hell are you doing? You don't have a permit.
Not like you're pushing a bulldozer around or anything like that.
Well, they do want to rough in this access here,
I would say let us see it. Let us do the site visit before they start the work.
site visit, which is Monday. So yeah, we can talk about it at the site visit.
You're just doing fencing or something like that. That's
Yeah,
not a big
moving
deal.
earth.
Yeah,
You'll probably see it before you You think?
we have long-term concerns about work on that property.
Yeah, that's fine. We're submitting a pretty comprehensive stormwater permit for this project, so, yeah.
Because there have been issues,
I know.
as they
I
say.
was involved, but we're bearing the brunt of those issues on this project.
Yes, yes, you are.
2:30
Is that all right?
Monday. Okay,
Okay,
you're there.
cool. Thank you.
Certificate of compliance, 37 Interlaken Road. Messing it.
It's 37 Mackinac
It
Road.
says Interlaken. Road.
I know it does, but it's wrong.
This is where they need to,
This is where we need to see the stakes for placement of the stakes to mark the vegetated buffer.
and don't we also need to know what they're planting? I mean,
Yes.
so stakes and planting plan.
315.
I think they were just gonna regrow at this point.
They're just gonna let it go. Okay.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
okay.
I don't know that there's a planting plan, but they were just gonna let it regrow and then they
But
were
there were so many
thinking.
invasives.
Yeah, well, there was some discussion about removing the invasives too, but I don't know that they've gotten that far with it.
So let's get something in writing about what they're gonna do.
Okay.
Because do you remember seeing it? There were a
I
lot of
didn't see that
invasives. But the stakes aren't in yet, right? Are we waiting for them to tell us?
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, so we're not gonna look at it.
All right.
here, but I would like to see their planting
Pending
plan
placement.
or invasive removal.
So if they get back to us with everything staked out,
And a plan
And
of
a
what they're
plan
gonna
to-
do. Yeah,
revegetate or plant or whatever they're gonna do,
Yep.
then we can go visit.
Still ready to scope of work and schedule to it.
do we know who M is?
Yeah, who is M on the
Screen.
screen?
Um,
We need to know who you are for the record. I guess we're not gonna find out.
okay, stormwater permit for 21A Interlaken Road.
We have
That's
not had a presentation of that,
Now the pool's gone in.
so we're still waiting.
And they promised us that
We have the stormwater
permit.
permit request, but they have not come in to present or anything, so.
So.
I will needle them
Yeah,
again.
let's remind them.
Certificate of compliance, 36 Lake Drive.
That's us.
Oh,
Hi.
so your project is done?
Finally.
Isn't that always the way?
Any paperwork kicking around on that? 'Cause I got-
We have a certificate, just the request for the certificate. So we need to do a site visit.
Yeah, so we're going out for a little field trip on Monday at 2:30. We could be there at 3:15 to 3:30.
We'll be there.
Okay.
See you then.
You received the letters, right, support?
The letters from,
Engineering,
the engineering.
No, I
From
didn't.
Matt
it
Hunton.
was in the email. We have our copy.
Okay, it was attached to the email. I just printed out the request.
So there's a letter from Matt Hunton for
Okay,
all of
good.
the engineering site work. And
Great.
a letter from Shannon Boozma, who went out and looked at all the plantings, both saying that from their point of view, it
Okay, I'll have to check for
What
the,
was requested.
Hopefully get some rain.
Yeah, we've been watering. so-
Have more paper.
oh, thanks.
They're all there.
Thank you.
I don't know, that Shannon Booms, that's kind of a shady character.
He helped us a lot. So.
He always sits way in the back. Yeah, don't deny that that's not you, right? Yes.
All right, well, that's good. Excellent. Excellent.
Notice
We'll
it.
see you Monday.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
rain or shine, hopefully it's shiny.
Shiny?
Notice of intent. 2 Beechwood Drive. Addition. Addition.
Okay, so. I didn't hear. This is 2 Beechwood Drive. This is David Potter from Green River Design. So this is 2 Beechwood Drive. If you were at the site visit, this is the first house on the right as you pull into Beechwood. There's an existing house, a bordering vegetated wetland with an intermittent stream over here that extends over onto the adjacent property. This comes up into a point at Mackinac Road. Beechwood Drive is here. This is old gardens and lawn and more woods over here. This is all a wooded wetland back here and an existing house with an existing patio. And then a small porch with stairs. What they would like to do is build a 158 square foot addition on helical piers. And that's an area of existing patio. So it's just a little bit larger than the existing patio. We took a look at the patio that's there and it is impervious. It is stone on basically grade. There's no impervious or no pervious stone, drainage stone in it at all. So we're gonna occupy some of that, and then this other section of that patio is going to be taken up by a new pervious patio. This patio is gonna be 300 square feet in size, and by construction standards, it's pervious. It has drainage stone, sand, and like a foot of drainage stone.
Plus or minus 8 to 10 inches with 2 inches of sand, masonry sand on top.
And
That's
this
the
is,
proper way to do a pervious stone patio.
this is essentially flat here. Water from the new roof area is going to go into the existing gutter system, which discharges out here. And we're gonna add some riprap to the discharge of that pipe that currently just drops down into a low-lying area, not a wetland, and then heads down towards the wetland. So we want to give that scour protection and erosion. There's also another pipe over here that's a foundation drain. Like I said, the new addition is going to be on helical piers, so we're not displacing any groundwater. And then we're going to put stone at that one as well, for the same reason, for scour. Now, we heard at the site visit, the commission's concerned about loss of buffer. So instead of this planting area down here, we expanded it to be able to put in more native plants. There's a lot of honeysuckle and other invasives out here. Put in native plants, make it more of a wetland, and then we can expand the buffer zone to cover more of this area. You can see with this being the buffer zone lines, I don't have the entire property here, but a majority of this property, other than maybe about 1,400 square feet, is in the buffer zone or wetland.
Can I ask a question? What do you mean, make it a wetland back there?
This is gonna be like a wetland replication area. It's a plateau area here from this wetland and then the next level up to the house. That does not have hydric soils at this time. It is receiving this water and we can tie that into the wetland by lowering the grades with only taking out some of the honeysuckle. And make it a functioning wetland rather than just a stormwater rain garden type area.
Okay, because the success rate on that is pretty low when people try to make wetlands, but go ahead.
This one, the grades are about a foot difference.
Yeah.
Here, so if we just lower it, the vegetation community back here is a lot the same. Just down here, the hydric soils are closer to the surface than here. So with maintenance to keep the invasives out of that area, I think it would be very successful.
What would the maintenance entail? Because there were a lot of invasives. Yeah, correct.
I would say it'd be hand pulling the invasives, not going in and excavating, but every year keeping up on it to keep them out of the area until the natives get
And how-
established.
How would that be monitored?
Well, I can monitor it for a couple of years, whatever the commission wants. And then, of course, it's the responsibility of the property owner. I can't watch them forever.
No, but for a lot of invasive management, at least when I was in Great Barrington, we would ask for a 5-year monitoring. But go ahead.
I've seen 5 years. I have a list of notes over here. One is 75% coverage when it is planted. And I have a list of species, one of which we have a maple tree, 6-inch diameter maple tree being removed here. And I want to plant a silver maple back there to replace that. If you want to put monitoring, whatever you feel comfortable with. I know 3 years is typical. Some towns do 5 years. I think 75% survival is good.
Compliance with it. In 3 years, how'd you go back and check?
Well, we would get monitoring reports every year and then a certificate of compliance. I don't know if it went in 5 years or 3 years.
So
It's usually 3. Well, it's when the project is completed.
Yeah, but if you ask for a monitoring, you want to make sure that it gets, if you ask for it for 5 years, you can still get it for 5 years. And I don't want to cut you off, so go ahead.
We're also directing existing roof runoff into that space.
Yep.
There's additional roof runoff that goes off to the west. We could redirect that additionally into that space, which will help with the wetland because we're dumping more water in.
where does it go now? Just dissipates into the ground or?
There's one that goes off the back of the house and terminates where we want to put the wetlands.
Yeah, that one.
And the second one goes to the west. The second one, we could tie into the first one behind the shed and double the amount of water flow into that area, which will help with the wetlands.
This ultimately will reach this wetland. Just with some overland flow. So just for some numbers, the new impervious area on the property is 81 square feet. And we're providing 500 square feet of new planted wetland.
Right, the present patio that's impervious, that's going to have the
Be
covering,
removed.
that's gonna be taken out?
Yes,
Okay.
yep, it's gonna be replaced by
Half
the
of it
addition
is where the
and
new addition is. The other half will be removed and the new patio will be constructed
Be
properly.
down over it.
Which if you're concerned about that, because we heard that concern at the site visit, the Concom maybe should have a detail that is a typical detail for this type of pervious patio, which it would be part of the order of conditions.
Alright.
To prevent someone from just saying it's a pervious patio and just laying stone on grade.
That would
what
typically
David's
be,
using is standard construction details.
that would typically be provided to us,
Right.
right? How you're gonna go.
Provided to us in the construction document.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. But it's just typical details out of any architectural design manual or online. It's all the same detail.
Right.
David, did you have,
What's the surface, David, that you're using?
Well, that's to be
Blue stone?
decided, whether it's bluestone or, that's preferable because it's flatter. But, whether it's Goshen, which isn't flat, I believe that's what's there now. Or even if it's just pavers. The percolation is going to go in between the stone. And it goes into sand first. And then typically you would want to put a filter fabric down to keep the weeds out. And then there's a good 8 to 10 inches of larger stone underneath that.
Yeah, if you put crushed stone,
Well, it's better if it's not
fabric,
crushed, if it's
fabric underneath.
tailings almost, right? with 3/4 on top of that and then sand on top of that. But it's typical detail right out of, architectural design manual. Any architectural office has it.
Yeah.
David, did you have any comments?
Nothing major. I did go to this site last Monday, also when I was out in Stockbridge. I think someone must have read my mind. I was trying to figure out whether or not there was going to be any vegetation removal for this. And I noted that there was, my notes say around a 5-inch DBH Norway maple that would probably have to come down. And I think Shannon, you're showing that on the revised plan, right? Must be the same tree.
Yes, it is.
Um,
One by the
Yeah,
shed.
the only one on the corner.
It's a Norway maple, I think. I don't think it's a sugar maple, so it's an invasive. I noted that most of the shrubs in that area, which I understand are probably going to remain, are honeysuckle. I had a question about how the stone was going to be placed out in that outfall area to the north. That was the only question I had. I didn't really have any problem with the project. I think now that, and given that they're proposing a 500 square foot planting area, I think that's a pretty generous offer considering what's being proposed. But I did have a question about how the stone was going to get out right by the wetland, whether it was going to be trucked out or taken out by hand or.
That'll all be handwork. I mean, it'll be 2 feet of excavation and then bringing in some peat and topsoil. So that can be done by hand.
Okay.
Wheelbarrows on the edge, no reason to, plow down the whole area or bring in equipment. The honeysuckle can be cut by hand and pulled out. And the
Yeah, so
stone.
that might be something that's written into an order of conditions, just to specify that no heavy machinery is going to be used to get out into that area. If that's feasible for the project.
So
That's fine. The only equipment is really gonna be pulling up this patio and excavating for the new patio, which is gonna be just minor in this area coming in from the driveway. We do have silk fence with staked straw wattles around that area. Like I said, the addition is on helical piers, so that doesn't require any heavy equipment moving around that side.
So the equipment, excuse me,
No, good.
the equipment will come in the driveway, just excavate to the corner of the building pretty much. Back out, take whatever has to be taken out, bring in
Well, the
whatever.
only excavation is going for the patio,
Yeah,
12 inches of
Yeah.
grade.
it's a straight shot in by the looks of it.
And then there'll be staging and such for
Helical
construction.
piers are just drilled
Yeah.
and contractors just gonna have to stage it around the back.
So can we get a planting plan for what you're gonna put back there? That's in the.
That's right here.
Can you, I can't read that.
Okay, I have copies for you. I have 75% cover when planted. Cardinal flower, blue flag iris, silky dogwood, pussyfoot, sweet fern, and a silver maple, or comparable native species. They want to get a landscaper involved.
And so in the order of conditions, can we ask for monitoring? For your monitoring for survival and replanting if things don't survive
3 years.
3 years?
3 years?
We can do 3 years and then see what combined.
Somebody gives us a report.
And heavier, I'd say heavier on the woody stuff and lighter on the stuff that's not
Iris.
woody, yeah.
Other things.
Yeah,
Is that just a once a year inspection?
Yeah,
just a report to let us know that it's how it's doing and.
I'll leave that.
Okay, just an email with a couple pictures.
and some, at some time, end of summer or whatever. Do it same time each year.
Just let us know how it's doing.
That works.
So when would that, if it's a 3-year, what is the time frame?
Well, I guess after, whenever you do the planting. The plants,
When it's planted?
yeah.
Yeah, it was a before and then next year and next year and next year.
How soon does that have to be put in? during the construction or after the construction.
It can go in after the
When are you
construction.
gonna start? This fall? It's kind of
Yeah,
pushing
you're
it to
pushing
get
it to
stuff
plant.
planted.
That's pushing.
Yeah, that'd be fine. And you get better selection of whatever you're looking for. And it's usually a little moisture.
And they'll be here to keep an eye on it.
All right,
you.
we need to close.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
Who's gonna present it for your
Yes. Is that? Oh, it is, okay.
revised?
Okay. So earlier today, I submitted a jurisdictional tree removal form for 104 Interlaken Road. You're all familiar with it. When the contractor came out to do the new electric lines that we got the permission for last month, they decided some trees need to come down. They are dead or dying ash along the intermittent stream where the poles are going. And they're threatening the lines. And also, I think there's a couple small maple and a couple along Interlaken Road, which we believe are in the town right of way, but the electrician suggests they take them down because they will be over the new lines that are going to be connected to an existing pole out on the road. So as far as the property goes, this is the driveway coming in. The lake is down here, the house. So coming in here, we had two poles. So the trees are in this area here and then out at the road.
And I'm sorry, where's the stream? That's the stream.
The stream is right here.
So they're right along the stream?
Yes.
So,
Yeah, you can see the stream in the pictures. So the trees that are by the stream will stay at a 2 to 3 foot height of the stump. The stumps will not be removed. The ones out by the road will be cut flush, so no one hits them with a plow or anything like that.
and what's the equipment by the stream?
What's the number?
The equipment?
It's gonna be John Fields. He'll have his crane and he'll be on the driveway and cut them down.
Should we see it? By the stream? You could. If they're right by the stream, my preference is to see it.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm not sure what that's gonna give us.
Well, I want to
mean,
know,
could
is,
vi- I
are
could
they in the
visualize.
bank? Are they, by the stream to move the road?
You can see on some of these pictures where, this is at the head wall of the bridge.
There's the bridge for the driveway,
For the driveway.
so that one over here, right?
Yep.
Is that stream on running right now?
I don't know.
I'd be surprised.
That's what I was doing.
If you're taking down 9 trees,
It's a total of 9. I can't. I believe, yeah, the stream is down in here. I think there's 2 small maples that are, or 2 that are closest to the stream that are not marked, but they're obviously the ash that are in that area.
They're dead, we can tell by,
Yes, that's what I was told.
You meant ash.
Ash, yes,
Yeah,
there, I
they said
think
maple.
there's a couple maple too.
Oh, okay.
yeah, this,
Sure, I would like to see them, especially if they're not dead. Or not near dead.
John Field Tree Service said that they're dead or severely declined.
Okay.
do we need to, or is a site visit or?
I can go. I can go.
Yeah, I can drive down.
You want to go?
Yeah, we'll do drive in. We'll do it, Monday.
Shannon,
Okay, do you want,
is the route of the underground electric mark?
no, but it's in the existing cleared swath that is there, that's been there for years. There's an electric box and it's a straight shot down to the garage. And that's kind of where the poles are going.
So you're gonna do site visit on Monday?
Yeah,
After the,
Is it underground or?
It's overhead from the pole on Interlaken Road to two new poles along the driveway and then underground to the garage.
Okay, that would help to.
whenever we get through with the 36 Lake Drive.
We will not.
you want to-
How does
Yeah,
the
yeah,
power
yeah.
get to the
That's
box
fine.
next to the driveway now? Is
You'll
it
be getting-
underground from the street somehow?
These things are important.
These things are very,
It must be underground.
you go.
I'm not critiquing it.
Yeah, you're just laughing at me.
She's got yoga.
Do not interfere with my yoga.
Well, good for you, you know? So Monday,
Four-ish.
four-ish,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if they're marked, you don't have to be.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
necessarily have to be
if they're
there.
marked.
you know, I haven't seen them.
Okay, let's go see them.
I had the electrician and the landscape
Yeah.
architect sending me pictures and
Might as well see.
texts and FaceTimes and all that.
We'll go take. a
Okay,
look.
so for Monday.
Okay,
Hey,
thank you.
thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
Notice of intent coming up. 102 here, we can run.
So that's the one next to the boat club,
Yeah.
where there was
Monday afternoon after.
cutting.
Yeah,
So what they want to do is they're planning to do, because runoff coming off the hill toward the lake is not good. I mean, the boat club has trouble with it all the time. So they're doing some work to
Or something like that.
improve stormwater and
Okay.
stuff. So it seems like a good project.
Foresight will bring it into us.
Yeah, it seems like a good project when I saw.
Laurel Hill project, that's the,
So we heard back from Mark Stinson. He said, well, it's done.
It's done?
It's done.
What's done?
bridge?
We issued the thing and,
Oh, what we did is done, but Mark also told Tim they need to file with Natural Heritage.
yeah, well, but other than that, we're done,
Okay,
he said.
so, but Tim is gonna wait to get the report. We can't approve it until we hear back. from
We already
Natural
did
Heritage.
approve it.
Well, he told Tim he has to.
That's not what Mark said.
Mm,
I asked Mark, what do
Yeah.
we do now? He said, well, too late.
That's interesting. Because Tim said, Mark told him he had to do this and they couldn't approve it till it was done. So I don't know. Let's see, Natural Heritage. He said, Lisa, after we spoke, I reached out to Mark Stinson regarding review by Natural Heritage, spoke to Mark and subsequently reached out to Natural Heritage. Melanie Cheeseman, the reviewer, replied by email that an application is required. Review will be at least 30 days. He couldn't find any exemptions, and so the project's delayed. But I didn't think the Concom could approve anything until we heard from Natural Heritage that it was. But we did. Well, let's see where it goes. Let's hope there's no take.
You gonna get her finger slapped.
There is, just for what it's worth, there's a distinction between the two different types of habitats Natural Heritage regulates, which you may know, or you may not. One is estimated habitats of rare wildlife, which is protected under the Wetlands Protection Act. So you guys have jurisdiction over that, but you usually defer to whatever Natural Heritage says in their comments. Priority habitat of rare species is strictly covered under the Massachusetts Endangered Species Act. So if that happens to be the thing on this property, it's a Natural Heritage issue. that particular thing and not a Concom issue.
Okay, I don't
Okay.
know which it is.
I don't know the particular property, but there may be something that's in play here.
We'll find out.
We will.
Okay, moving on.
But anyway, they haven't started anything yet until they get that clearance.
Stormwater runoff for Zero Dugway. Have we gotten,
Dave was gonna take a look.
David, have you looked?
Yeah,
at-
I went out there last Monday and I took a look. Yeah, I mean, it's about what you would expect for a site like that with slopes like that and freshly cut embankments and trees that are cut. I did take a spin back through the site plan that was approved. It looks like the limits of work are consistent with what were approved, including the tree clearing and the grading on the embankments. There are some S&E controls on the site. I think there's mostly straw wattles, and they have put in some roadside swale and check dams. But and I took a look at the stormwater features that are shown on the plan, which look like they would be sufficient. But then I looked at the construction sequence again, and it shows them going in towards the tail end of the project. That's not going to help anything during the construction phase. So there's supposed to be a construction phase stormwater and erosion control plan. I don't know if the applicant intended what was submitted and approved to be that plan. But if it is, those stormwater BMPs are not in right now, or only partially in. So the big problem is there's no place to store the water until those new slopes get stable with vegetation. The water needs to be stored and slowed down instead of just ripping down that driveway. And out onto Dugway Road. I mean, it is causing some, it's caused some noteworthy erosion along the shoulder of the road. I wasn't there when it was raining. We've been in a drought for a couple of weeks now, but I would have been curious to see what it looked like during a rain event. If there was enough water going down that road to move that material, the question is, where did all that silty water end up? Did anybody from the commission happen to see it during the rain event?
I didn't.
Yeah.
We were led to understand that all of the stormwater prevention measures would be in place before the project started.
And they were supposed to replant 177 trees, 106 shrubs. All of that was, my understanding from the plan was all of that was along the driveway, where now there's just grass. So all that water is just flowing.
I'd have to go back and look at that. I don't remember the planting being an element, but I'll go back and look at it. My understanding too, because I thought I had a specific comment about this, that most of the project is out of the commission's jurisdiction. And what is it like? It's a few thousand square feet in the very outer riverfront area towards the bottom of the driveway. The rest of the project is out of the commission's jurisdiction. But I thought I recall during public meeting on this one saying, this is a tricky site. It's a very steep slope, and the construction phase stormwater plan is going to have to be very tight to keep that site stable. And they've done some stuff, but between the excessive heat wave we had earlier in the summer, and you guys have been, you were in a drought for a while there. There was a mild drought declared in Berkshire County, I think, for June and July. There's been very little growth on that exposed soil, so it's in a very vulnerable state right now. I can't recall if the total site disturbance is more than an acre on this one. If it's not, it's probably pretty close, in which case that triggers the need for a NIPDES permit from the EPA and the preparation of a stormwater pollution prevention plan. So I don't know if the applicant has done that, but the commission could request a copy of that. The bottom line is the site is not stable right now. And while most of the site is out of the commission's jurisdiction, there's a clause in the regulations that says, you have no jurisdiction over those things unless or until something ends up in your jurisdiction. And, Dugway Road, I think the entire road is from the driveway mouth down to the main road there is all in riverfront area. So if there's mobilization of sediment or soil from the side of the gravel from the side of the road going down the hill, that's within the commission's jurisdiction. So I think the applicant and the contractor need to be thinking about what they're going to do for additional construction phase stormwater controls right now, because what's there right now is it's not going to be sufficient.
Including planting.
And it's supposed to rain, Thursday or so.
Yeah.
David, I think I remember asking them, and they said they had a series of small detention basins in that.
They've got all sorts of things shown on the plan, rain gardens, detention basins. But if you look at the listed construction sequence that was in the package, which I looked at, I think Sally and Lisa sent it around, they actually list the construction of the stormwater management features going in towards the end of the project.
Oh, no.
Now, so there's a reason for that, right? Because they don't want to build these, because they don't want to build these things and then have, build nice rain gardens and have them all silted up during the construction phase. But they can use the same footprint of what those final stormwater features are going to be temporarily during the construction phase, just to manage water during the construction phase, and then wrap it up and polish them up and put the final touches on them to make them like new at the end. That's kind of a standard practice.
Yeah.
But they've got to do something. There's no place to store water right now. There's been a significant amount of clearing. The drainage characteristics have changed. All sorts of soil has been moved, through the cuts and the fills. And we've had a drought, and the embankments just aren't getting vegetated fast enough to stabilize those soils. So something additional is needed.
All right.
So on that second page of what Sally sent to me and I sent to you, or Sally sent to the commission, there's replantings. They have tree removal and tree replacements. And as I said, I didn't see any of that. So that needs to happen.
Where I'm gonna find.
I'm trying to find it here too. We don't have a hard copy.
Lisa, I think they need storage to hold that stuff, the water that's coming off. And that's number one, as David just said.
Yeah, they need both. Yeah.
And once those are in place, if they have to clean them out a couple times or whatever, and then convert them to rain gardens, like you just said, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's on the construction sequence. There are 14 different steps, and install stormwater management measures is number 10, after construct the house and garage and complete the driveway.
Oh, that's a problem.
Contact.
Yeah, so they're trying to use and this is a common practice. They're trying to use erosion controls to manage stormwater, but that's, they're meant to be the last line of defense, and they're not meant to manage stormwater.
Yeah.
All right, I think we should give them a call.
Who's the
Too bad Shannon isn't still here.
We know where to find her.
Yeah, we do.
And I just incidentally, well, I'll let you know, when I was there, I bumped into the I guess the foundation contractor. I think there's a general contractor, and I think he's a sub consultant or subcontractor. And I talked to him for a few minutes, and I gave him my card just to let him know why I was on the property. We had a nice conversation, and he must have given it to Brent White. Brent called me later in the day or the next day, and we've played phone tag. I haven't actually talked to him. So they know that I was on site, and, I expressed some of my concerns to this guy too.
Oh. So it's not gonna be news to them then?
No, well, Shannon knew that we had issues. We think that they put in the rock at the base there since we talked to them.
What do you mean rock?
They
The
filled it.
riprap.
Yeah.
Just a construction entrance?
Yes.
Is that what we're talking, or lighting, armoring the swales?
Well, armoring the driveway, basically.
Base of the driveway.
The base of it, yeah, and they've got some check dams that they've put in the road, the driveway swales. So they've, they have legitimately done some stuff, but that might be fine on a site that's level, but not on one with grades like this and, that extensive tree clearing and cutting into the embankment. It's just they're gonna have to, beef it up.
So,
I didn't see any indication that anything got to, I can't remember the name of the brook that's across the street.
Mohawk.
Mohawk. The grades wouldn't really allow for that. I didn't see anything that went over there. Everything seemed to be on the,
Just going down the road.
going down Dugway Road.
Whether or not it crossed the street into the river, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of looked on the road to see if
Can I get word in
kind of
there?
you'd kind of expect to see like an alluvial fan of sand across the pavement, but I didn't see that. So I don't know where it went. I mean, a lot of material was mobilized, so it had to have gone somewhere.
There's a lot of caverns and stuff up through that whole area.
A lot of what?
Caverns and openings and crevasses that
Oh, okay.
disappear among, the ledges are, I won't say porous, but they're fractured enough where things go into the ground and disappear,
Oh, interesting.
then reappear.
Yeah.
Can I stick I can't see it, but I would have sworn when I was looking at the email this afternoon, there was a letter from White Engineering talking about expanding the stormwater capacities and reworking the plan for the site, and I can't find it. I mean,
I don't recall seeing that, but
Did anybody
you
else?
sure that wasn't for the 2 Beechwood?
It might have been for 2 Beach. They did send a
I
letter.
mean, I saw, yeah, and I just had that open. No, so it's just making me crazy. I don't know where it went.
So while you're looking, can I ask a question?
Uh-huh.
In the order of conditions, general conditions C, they say that the responsible party is supposed to maintain a maintenance log. Do they do that for stormwater for 3 years? I mean, it's in our order of conditions.
I know. Well, on most projects, at least not most projects, projects that are an acre or more in size generally have a fairly robust stormwater, monitoring program, because it needs to be done for the EP anyway. And so there were routine forms done. So that would count for that.
Yeah.
Honestly, do people do it for single family home construction? Probably almost never. I mean, to be honest, I've never audited anyone on a single family home project to see if they've done it. But
yeah, no, I understand that, but given the amount of water coming off that driveway.
There's no doubt. I mean, they are responsible for managing stormwater throughout the entire construction phase. So that is their responsibility. There's no ambiguity about that. So
Right. So if they're, and the reason I'm asking is if they're doing little piecemeal things here and there to manage this, it'd be nice to know what they're doing. So if you talk to Shannon, ask her about the log.
Well, I'll send.
That may or may not exist, but just to give them a heads up.
do you want, if this makes it easier for the commission, I'll just offer this up. Would you like me to call Brent? I mean, I did call him back and he didn't get back to me because he's probably very busy, but I can reach out to him again and I can kind of explain to him what we discussed at tonight's meeting and say, hey, the commission's going to be expecting some kind of action on this during the construction phase to shore up that site a little bit more. And I would suggest that you have them come to the next meeting with, a proposed action plan for what they're going to do. Does that make sense?
If you talk to them, that'd be great.
Okay.
If it rains real hard, I'll go up there and take pictures.
Yeah. yeah, getting a sense of where that water goes would be nice. And, if it ends up in the Housatonic River, that's, it's not good for them, but that's a violation. So we want to know.
All right,
Or if it goes across the road into Mohawk Brook, which is a river.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I think the grades actually pitch it away from Mohawk Brook, but we certainly want to know what happens to that water as it comes off the site.
So, and another question that I don't know the answer to, the shoulder of the road that's no longer there, who fixes that? Does the town have to pay for that? Does the homeowner have to pay for that? I mean, that was a lot of,
That's a legal question. 'Cause I'm a wetlands guy, but I mean, if I were the highway department, I wouldn't be happy about it.
so let's ask him. Because I mean, that was a lot of loss of road there.
Yeah.
Significant, and it's,
I see
until this
Hugh
is
almost
fixed.
every day, I'll ask,
Yeah.
almost every day.
Have you seen the site?
No.
Yeah. You can look at it.
And you really can tell the difference because we went a little further up the hill, just turn around and
Right.
come back down.
It's not-
The
there's a
the
road
erosion
there.
starts right
Yeah.
at that driveway.
Yeah. It's unmistakable. I agree. I mean, if I were the highway super, I'd want to know about it. And, you might be able to get some traction that way too.
All right.
And I'm sure the people who own this property and who are having the house built for them don't, they might not even know about this, and I'm sure they don't want to be causing damage to a town road. I'm sure they don't want to, so.
All right.
Thank you
We'll
for
make-
looking at it.
we'll
Yeah.
Make phone calls to all around here or stop-ins.
Okay, I'll reach out to Brent again and just relay this stuff to him and say, request that they come prepared at the next meeting with a plan. And I'm not going to tell them what to do. It's really, the construction phase stuff is up to them to propose.
Okay.
Again, most of it is out of your jurisdiction, but you have the right to ask them to do this stuff because material is coming into your jurisdiction in a way that it's not supposed to.
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. All right. Anything else on Dugway?
We had the stormwater permit on that too. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I think there was. And because I recall specifically having a conversation about the construction phase and how important it was going to be to get that right.
So the stormwater bylaw is not bound by the Wetlands Protection Act. So the whole purpose of our stormwater bylaw is to ensure that kind of stuff that's uphill does not come downhill, even if it's not a wetlands thing. So when they did the stormwater permit, they would have needed to provide the information for all that stuff.
Right.
So there's that too.
Can you get us a copy? Can you send that out before the next meeting so we can see it?
I might have that still from last year too.
Yeah, it's not digital. Our stormwater.
I thought they submitted something digital because they got it to me, unless they sent me a hard copy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at the
Well,
file.
if you are talking to Brent, can you ask him if we can get a copy?
Yeah, I'm looking at my project files for you guys and I don't have one for Dugway, which means everything that I reviewed must have been hard copies. So, okay. Yep, I will ask for that.
Thank you.
Anything else on that? Scenic Mountain Act mapping review? What did
Yeah, Joe has those.
show?
I have it right here.
Are there any sort of useful maps in there?
Well, I was gonna take a look at it once I had everything.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, folks. Are you all set with me for now?
I think
Would
so,
you like-
yeah.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice night.
Have a good
Thank
evening.
you.
So I am looking into helping Sally with inquiries on the Scenic Mountain Act by seeing if we can get a larger map with the parcels on it, and then roughing in, where the scenic mountains are, just expanding this 11 by 17 one, which I have here now. And putting that on the same scale as the big map. And that would give you a little closer and much easier way of answering these calls, Sally. And we could mount that on a board and just leave it here wherever we are for our meetings, so we could pull it up. And it'd be at a big enough scale so that everybody would understand it. And there would be a big disclaimer saying, this is approximate only, these lines. And the written work is what you need to follow. And it's the applicant's responsibility to pin that down. Any surveyor could do that, So I don't know, I thought I'd talk to Mike Parsons, maybe, somebody that's used to pulling up information from the internet and has access to that high resolution stuff. So that's my thoughts.
That's great. That would be.
Okay,
very
yeah.
We haven't found out yet what that big printer is in the other room.
If you can do that.
Yeah.
The printer,
Yeah, what does that do?
Sally, the printer's not the problem. That's a 4-foot printer.
Yeah, but I mean,
And it's old, but it'll work. It'll do this.
Yeah,
When it comes time. I'm not talking anything 4 feet. I'm more like possibly 3 by 3, something of that ilk. Double the size of this anyway.
yeah, because that's hard to,
But some of these parcels are pretty small,
yeah.
So that, and then the only other question is that if somebody's gonna charge, and you said we have the fund that we could pay for it out of that. I was trying to keep it down.
Use our wetlands fund for that? I'm not sure, because it's not wetlands, it's scenic mountains.
Check with the lawyer.
Well, is it a conservation?
It is a conservation, yeah, it is, and
It
it's,
goes to the town,
Yeah,
it's sort
if
of a
it's
slush fund,
conservation-
isn't it?
I mean, you can ask Michael, but if it's a conservation commission fund, we do cover.
I mean, it does, the Conservation Commission, we get money from people who file under scenic mountains.
Yeah.
Sure.
no idea.
And so
You're not talking a lot of money.
theoretically,
No, I don't know.
it would assist the Conservation Commission in doing its work, so
Yeah.
I think it would be a legal use,
The other way of having a surveyor sort of produce the map is they would have, as they review where the lines are and stuff like that, in the written part, I mean, they'd have a understanding of what somebody's gonna run into, and we could, if they'd share it with us, we could use that to help the applicants. I'm open for any
You think
any
Mike,
ideas you want.
I think Mike is the guy?
I just, I could put the map together, but I think a surveyor should, just,
Well, I think
not a
it's,
survey, but just assemble the stuff quickly.
I think it's important for us to really get a handle on this.
Keep
It's
going.
gonna come up, yeah. It's gonna come around again.
So keep going, and then
A
if you
couple,
want to modify the thing at some point, you've got the document that you understand. And
I mean, we've got the two potentially huge projects that are going to involve scenic mountains,
The system.
DeSisto and Elm Court. I mean, Elm Court has laid down dormant for a long time now.
10 years.
And so is DeSisto, but they're gonna rear their heads pretty soon. Or at some point. And I think we should
Interest rates
be,
are coming down, that ought to.
yeah, I
start to
think we
trigger
should
things.
be, I think we should be prepared.
yeah, that's in the scenic mountain.
Both. Yeah.
They both are.
Yeah, remember all that
Yeah, it would
stuff
be good.
with the
good to have it.
balloons and everything?
Yeah.
All right, keep
So,
us informed, Drew.
yeah,
We need,
it's not an instant thing.
no,
Yeah,
it's not gonna happen this winter, probably.
you'll hear from me before, before it's 20,000 or something. Yes.
That's a little over our budget.
Involved.
There was a printer over in Ireland that was pretty reasonable. You should check them out.
You can make sure it works. Make sure the plug is, adaptable to this voltage.
Are you proposing a field trip or to do a site
Site
visit?
visit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't go Icelandic gear.
we call them site visits around here, don't we? Don't judge.
Agricultural Forestry Commission,
Nothing, no news.
Railroad Enforcement Order follow-up. I'm sure we've heard nothing from them.
We never got the pictures from the concerned citizen that, there was a concerned citizen that had taken pictures of the railroad ties along the rail route, and we never got those pictures. We should follow up on that.
21 Wheatley Drive, anything new there?
No,
I mean, it has to be triggering a stormwater.
Yeah, so did we talk to Kathy McCormick, is that her name? And
haven't.
please do,
I know.
Is that,
because it had to be 10,000 square feet, yeah. And that's been there for a long time, so I don't want to let that one go.
why is
Pulled
this?
up a file today, I just happened to run across it on 11 Wheatley. Superseding order that was years ago. There were some pretty specific conditions on the property that I don't think has ever taken place.
This is
Tree plantings and things like
Whitley
that.
Drive.
Is that the one with the,
With the Cowens, do you remember that?
yeah, I remember.
And Tim McKenna came and we spent, I don't know how much time trouncing around that property. And then we got overridden, which is always annoying.
Lily Pond's kind of been a hot item for us.
So the 11 Wheatley Drive. Is that the one on the bridge over the,
No, that's 21.
we got 11 and 21 here, same filing?
No,
But 21 is the one with Kathy McCormick.
21 is McCormick Apple
Right.
Tree Trust. And the 11 has been a problematic property since I've been on the commission.
This one where they've done a lot of clearing then?
Well, they clear cut down to Lily Pond. That was the first round.
That was years ago.
That was a long time ago.
So what are we waiting for from SK?
They're supposed to be doing a stormwater and they're supposed to be finding out whether they're doing a NIPT. They have to do a NIPTs.
Okay, so let's.
But so far, our friend Mr. Shook has not been forthcoming with that.
And
No, that doesn't.
so how do we follow up?
We've sent notices.
We have. Certified,
And what happens? Nothing?
nothing.
So,
They don't care.
but we care.
Yeah, we care, but they're not interested. I mean,
This is the one where David walked the property and then came
Yeah, that's-
running back up. So,
Well, maybe we need a threat.
Yeah, let's ask him.
we viewed the property from the road,
right.
is what we
So
did.
Did he write a letter?
He did.
Yeah, and there was no response.
He wrote the enforcement order or the letter. I can't remember whether it was
Yeah.
officially an enforcement order. But I think the time has come to,
Put some
as my father-in-law used to
push behind it.
say, where the bum hid the money.
Okay, so what does that mean? I never met your father. Tell me what that means.
It means It's time to do something.
Okay, I agree. That's what
Yeah,
I'm asking. So
yeah.
what do we do?
Yeah, I don't know. We issued an enforcement order. I think I think.
So then-
We have to double check to make sure that it was an official enforcement order. If it was an official enforcement order, I think we need to start finding them.
Yeah, I don't think it was an official enforcement. I thought it was like a nice letter prior to an official, but I could be wrong. So
Well, if
let's
it
ask-
was a nice letter, I honestly don't I have not slept in over a month now, so the brain is pretty foggy.
Our puppy's grand.
Puppies are swell.
So,
But
but let's ask David what he wrote
I have a copy of it.
and find out if it was an enforcement order, then we need to start finding. And if
I
not-
think if it was not an official enforcement order, we should issue one.
Yeah, so let's do that once you get some rest.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah, because this has been on forever. And Kathy
With a
McCormick-
threat with it.
Yeah. Okay,
And the last one is land acquisition for potential conservation restrictions. Tom was in, and these are properties. I don't know quite how to read this,
put down on.
that the town owns. Town owns a piece down by Jones Beach, so.
Right?
I haven't quite figured out how to read it yet. I just picked it up, so.
We should look at this in conjunction with, but this is this is, okay, Town of Stockbridge, all right.
You need to locate them on a map.
Yeah, okay, so these are the parcel, land use, acres, building value. There's no, okay, it does have the map and lot, okay. So 102 and 104 and 105,
Okay.
I think are all around the lake. Well, this one has. Main Street, South Main.
Probably most of them are little chunks of land between other properties and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Well, Main Street is 8.48. That's probably this building. And there are a couple of little ones. There's 1.93 acres and 0.08 acres. I wonder what that is. And then there's 10 acres, 94, must be Gold Meadows. 0.94 on Wheatley Drive.
Right,
Yeah,
right, when you first go on Wheatley Drive.
there's access to the water down through there somewhere.
somewhere-
Yeah, but there's a
behind Patrick.
22 acre parcel that has,
We went through that with a map once. There was. It was divided up, but it was continuous. Like, well, there was neighboring two parcels right together and they were listed separately.
okay, so there's the one on Hawthorne Street, map 203, lot 44, it's 0.94 acres, so it's almost an acre. And then the Wheatley Drive one is 22 acres. And there's another one off of Hawthorne Road that's 0.31 acres. And one off of Mackinac Road that's 0.04 acres. Must be a right of way for something. Interlaken Road, 113, is that Gould Meadows?
It'd have to be.
And then there's also Interlaken Road that's 9480.
Mhm.
Are the two
No.
parcels in Gould Meadows?
No,
That's almost 200 acres.
they don't have that much.
But so what's the one off?
Boat ramp?
Oh, no, well, maybe, but the state owns that.
They own the whole thing or just the access to the water?
I don't
know. I don't know either.
But that's not 94 acres.
No.
94 acres is Gould Meadows,
Okay, so that's,
according to this.
so 94 is Gould Meadows.
Oh, okay.
So what's the 113?
You up there grabbing it?
Map 207, lot 2.
Figuring out what's what. Yeah, baby. That. So what's the other address?
Map 207 off of Interlaken Road.
You know,
Map 207, lot 2.
what is it? That's it. Maybe a little more. Can't go the other way. Well, no, this is those maps, that's a different set of maps that she's referring to. Yeah, there's a map number, 102 or something like that, yeah. I think it's out here.
One more farmer's market this
She's
week.
gonna slide right down that. Yeah, I think Wednesday's the last day.
Do you got time to just?
Have you gotten,
Have
you gone?
Yeah. Why don't you ask? You want me to?
hopefully next
If you
year will
want
be
to,
bigger.
if you want to make a copy of that, I'll try to work on.
Yeah, because I'd be interested.
That'd be
figuring out a
great.
map.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm interested too. Make a copy. Can we go now?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Time is it? 8:15.
All right, thank you.